A short story requires a lot of information to be at the writer's fingertips. A novel, on the other hand, requires a vast amount of information. There are a number of ways to organize this information, but my preferred method is to whiteboard all the stuff. This video will explain how to whiteboard your story. There are many whiteboard apps available, and I've tried most of them. I've settled on two that I prefer to use, Scribble and Milanote. They use somewhat different approaches, but have many similarities. I'll use Milanote in this video, but the same approach would apply if I use Scribble. Milanote has a free version if you want to try it out. When you open up Milanote, you see a blank screen with all these icons on the left sideboard. Click on the blue board icon to start a new whiteboard. Once you click on the board button, another icon shows up in the main screen. I renamed mine to Whiteboarding A Story, but you can rename the button with your story's title. Then double click on the icon. It disappears and another mostly blank screen shows up, and in the lower right a Choose a Template selector pops up with a large number of templates to use. Select Empty Board for your whiteboard, and then double click on the icon. Another blank screen opens up just waiting for you to fill it up with anything you want to add. In the left sidebar, click on the three dots and choose Text. Drag it any place in the main area and add your story's title. Then drag a note into the main area and rename it as Brief Storyline. Add the other notes as shown on the screen, and then fill out the text boxes. Now comes the part where you set up your story details. Start a series of new board icons labeled as shown. These are called subboards, and this is where the power of whiteboarding really comes in. Play around with the left and right clicking to get a feel on how to customize the icons. Then, one at a time, double click on each icon. Choose Empty Template. This will open up a new blank screen for you to add stuff. I will go through these templates one at a time to show possible information you can add. What you decide to add is up to you. This subboard is for your main characters. Add a picture or a drawing of each character if you wish. You'll also want to add information that will be essential to you when writing about the character. This can include the character's DRE, flaws, and other information. Add more character boxes as you need them. You can also drag in the cast of characters spreadsheet here. This is the plot subboard. The gray colored boxes are instructions or additional information. In this case, I've added a typical plot sequence box and a box for each item in the typical sequence. You can fill in the boxes with the details of the plot events in your story. Besides information about the event, add information about why the result happened the way it did. In the storyline subboard, you can break down the details of the storyline by acts. I do this to gain more control on these parts of the story and to focus on one part of the story at a time. Stories are made up of scenes. Use this subboard to describe major locations where much of the story takes place. These can be taverns, hotels, homes, forest clearings, and so on. This subboard is especially useful if the location is used in multiple scenes. You can also add a sketch of the location. Stories, especially long ones like novels and screenplays, are developed and written over a long period of time. During that time, you'll be doing a lot of thinking about the story, and that will result in a lot of ideas. Record them here to preserve them and to possibly use them later on. This subboard can be used to develop and detail subplots. There is no set number of subplots to a story. They can be used for a number of purposes, such as distracting the reader or giving the reader a break from an intense storyline. Overall, subplots can enrich the reader's enjoyment of the story. I love to play What If with my characters and the storyline. This activity allows me to explore adding depth or reader surprises to the story. For instance, I might think, what if character A is gay? Or what if character B's lover turns out to be his long-lost sister? See what I mean? This activity can actually be a lot of fun. It can also result in another story. This rather lengthy link will allow you to view the whiteboard I created to make this video. Viewing it is free, and you don't need the Melanote app to see it. The subboards shown in this video contain what I wanted to see in the whiteboard. But those are my preferences, and they may not match your preferences. So use my stuff as examples, and change or rearrange the whiteboard until it suits you. That is the power of whiteboards, the flexibility of it. Here are links to the 2 whiteboard apps I use. And that concludes this video class. Thanks for watching.